Good morning, family. Welcome to Morning Devotion Light. Today is Thursday, November 2nd, the 20th day of our prayer tradition. Let's begin by greeting our Heavenly Parent and true parents. Chunjian, Champoninge, Kyungbae, Paro. Now for our family pledge, let's welcome Pastor Milhan Stevens.
가정맹세 1. 자녀국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본향 땅을 찾아 본연의 창조의 상인 지상 천국과 천상 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 자녀국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 중심, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 자녀국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과皇족권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 자녀국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조 이상인 천주대 가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 자녀국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상세계와 대상적 지상세계 통일을 향해 정진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 자녀국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참부모님의 대신 가정으로서 자손을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 자녀국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 자녀국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 자녀국 시대를 맞이하여 절대 신앙, 절대 사랑, 절대 복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상 천국과 천상 천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Thank you, Pastor Milhan. Now for our opening prayer, I'd like to invite Reverend Desmond Green. Reverend Green, if you're there, could you please unmute and pray
Thank
for
you.
us?
Thank you, Dr. Seidel. Good morning, brothers and sisters.
Morning.
Please join me in prayer. A loving Heavenly Parent, true parents of heaven, earth, and all of humankind, we greet you on this beautiful morning, a morning that is bright and beautiful. We have assembled here this morning to greet you and to greet one another and to find the path in this day that is filled with hope and joyous expectation. Father, we know that the course that we have been called upon to travel is indeed a rocky road. And we are reminded that you have walked this road before us, before any of us. When we look at the life of Jesus, for example, we see that he was a man that was so very much misunderstood, a man who was so mistreated. Yet he had a heart of gold, a heart that was filled with love and compassion for your love and for the love of his fellow men. So this morning, as we gather together as members of the family of our true parents, we think of our father, Reverend Sun Myung Moon, and the path that he had trod, opening the way for us to recognize the value of the course we are walking. We are walking a course in order to make an alliance with the heart of all the historical central figures who walked this bitter course of indemnity. Yet they stand resolute in their determination to go this way no matter what. So this morning we want to say thanks to you, Heavenly Parent. We want to say thanks to our true parents. And we want to say thanks to all our brothers and sisters who have dared to walk this path. We want to congratulate each one for the journey, and we want to support one another until we get to that finishing line. Because we were all handpicked by you from all over the world to support the construction of a kingdom of peace, a kingdom of love that has accommodation for everyone. There is room in your heart for all mankind. And so every day we find that we are being tested to broaden and to deepen the depths of our hearts. And this can only come about through trials and tribulations. So I remember one time our father said, I like the taste of indemnity, because when the price has been paid, then inevitably the victory will come. So Father, please bless all my brothers and sisters on this call this morning. We really honor each one of them for really going on a course that nobody wants to go, but we pledged that we will follow your way. And so this morning we pray that through the reading of our true mother's words, the mother of peace, we may step into a realm of thought and of understanding that we have never been before. We want to improve ourselves day by day, moment by moment, so that each day we can grow more in resemblance of you, so that we can live with you eternally in the kingdom of heaven, on earth and also in the heavenly world. So thank you so much for this beautiful morning. I report this prayer in the names of Desmond and Beryl Green, with our son Joel Green of the Green Bless Central family. I make this report, amen and adieu.
Adieu. Thank you, Reverend Green.
Thank you, Dr. Seidel.
All right, brothers and sisters, now it's time for our Goddable reading. We're reading from the Mother of Peace, our True Mother's memoir. Pastor Milha.
Thank you, Kathleen, and thank you, Reverend Green. And speaking of finish line, we are finishing the Mother of Peace today, in fact. So with that, let's begin.
Welcome to Mother of Peace, and God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. A memoir by Hak Jahan Moon, a production of the Washington Times Global Media Group, narrated by Alison Hiroto. We held 2 blessings in South Africa this year alone, said Prophet Radebe. In June, during a national blessing ceremony, attended by more than 60,000 people, True Mother offered a prayer to liberate the young people who sacrificed their lives to fight against suppression and injustice. Following this, on December 7th at the FNB Stadium in Johannesburg, we held a blessing ceremony for 200,000 on the continental scale and proclaimed Heavenly Africa. Africa is now a God-centered Africa. Bishop Noel Jones then testified, True Mother has given a special vision, not only to the American clergy, but to all of us. Who can realize such a profound vision? On this foundation, I delivered my message. Christians should not have put their focus only on the second coming of Christ, but also on his bride, the only begotten daughter. Heaven chose the Korean people at this historical time and brought forth not just the birth of Father Moon in 1920, but the birth of Mother Moon, the only begotten daughter, in 1943. We must know that the blessing officiated today by the only begotten daughter, true mother, is humanity's long-awaited dream of 6,000 years and the wish of our heavenly parent. As I uttered those words, I wept. The hearts of all those in attendance felt those tears. At that event, many members of the clergy discarded their preconceived notions of our movement. I believe that heaven can accept this one minister's words to represent all Christianity. Through this event, I found that the rumors about the Unification Church are far from the truth. I realize that I have blocked my eyes and ears to the truth of this group, having heard it was a cult or heretical. But when I listened to the introduction to the Family Federation, I received the powerful inspiration that without heaven's guidance, Reverend Sun Myung Moon and Dr. Hak Ja Moon could not have carried out such miraculous work. Others shared similar words. Now my religious views have changed. I feel like a newborn Christian. Why did I oppose them? I regret opposing them without truly knowing who they are. I have been touched. I know that the unification movement is doing the work of God, and from now on I will sincerely help in their activities. I was moved by the realization that Dr. Hak Ja Moon is the only begotten daughter, and the promise to build the pure Garden of Eden through the principles of true family. My husband, Father Moon, and I love America with our whole hearts, and we live for its salvation. This love enabled us to endure years of criticism and persecution, including Father Moon's very unfair imprisonment, and offer it all for the sake of Heavenly Parent and humankind. At True Father's Holy Ascension in 2012, I took upon myself a great responsibility. God led me through difficult circumstances and painful trials. I have now completed the 7-year course seeking the restoration of nations to God's embrace. The final 40-day course, at the end of 2019, was a path through a wilderness, uncharted in heaven and on earth. My objective was to settle God's kingdom of Cheonilguk in the worldwide Canaan. This path of restoration history was completed at the Vision 2020 Global Summit in Korea, February 2020, which was a beacon of hope lit on the eve of a global transformation. Giving birth to the heavenly world. Over the decades, I have kept a particular photograph close to my heart. When I close my eyes, I can clearly see it. It is of a woman with a little girl on her back holding the Korean flag. It was taken in the market of Onju, my hometown. The woman's face is flush with desperation, and it looks as if she wants to grab onto someone and plead her difficult situation. The image is of my maternal grandmother, Jo Won-mo, carrying her daughter, my mother, Hong Sune, on her back as she took part in the independence movement on the first day of March 1919. My maternal uncle used to tell me stories as we looked at that photo. Unfortunately, we did not bring it with us when we fled the north. It is probably safe somewhere in my hometown. And there was a very similar photograph of Grandmother Jo waving the Korean flag. But this one was taken August 15th, 1945, and in that photo, it is me she is carrying on her back. This time, her face is filled with joy, and she looks ready to embrace everyone she meets. Her expressions in those two photos contrast the sorrow of losing one's nation with the joy of gaining it back. Our sorrow over having lost God's world is soon to transform into the joy of gaining it back. From the moment I could understand speech, my maternal grandmother told me, "God is your Father." Her words formed the core of my faith. They set me on the course I had to walk. My husband, Father Sun Myung Moon, and I have lived our whole lives for the liberation of God's homeland. We have nothing to be ashamed of, nothing to hide. I have never looked back, nor to the left or the right. I have only looked at the path ahead. I never became attached to my circumstances. Night or day, there has never been a moment that I did not keep Heavenly Parent with me. In the Kremlin, we said to the leaders that they should remove the statues of Lenin and accept God. In the presidential residence in North Korea, we spoke out. On that foundation, President Mikhail Gorbachev and Chairman Kim Il-sung opened their hearts. We never wavered for the sake of the liberation of God's homeland. Whenever crises arose, Heavenly Parent guided us with pillars of fire and cloud. Standing before True Father's holy body in 2012, I promised in tears, by the end of my days, I will absolutely bring about the settlement of Cheonil-guk on this earth. Whenever the opportunity arises, I repeat these words. After True Father's ascension, I set forth like a female Don Quixote, spreading our teachings and embracing the world. I have lived every day with my promise to Father Moon in mind. The Republic of Korea did not honor True Father at his Sangwa ceremony. That is why I publicly committed to restore 7 nations by 2020 and open the new Cheonil-guk as a gift to True Father. With that accomplished, the providential opportunity has returned to Korea. The call of the Pacific Hyojang culture of giving and giving again must take root and show visible fruit in this nation. This door will not remain open forever. In 2018, on New Year's Eve, members from all over Korea gathered at the Chongshem Peace World Center to pray for the settlement of the era of a unified heavenly Korea. From the evening until the small hours in the morning of the new year, 2019, we beseeched God in tears to restore the Korean nation and liberate our Heavenly Parents' homeland. That winter and spring, I addressed 5 rallies of hope in South Korea. In Seoul, 100,000 people attended. We promoted the unification of North and South Korea under the theme, Inherit Heavenly Fortune, Bring National Unity. We also held a rally in honor of the United Nations troops that came to Korea's aid during the Korean War. In Chungcheong Province, our rally was themed the 100th anniversary of the March 1st movement and the movement for peace between Korea and Japan. In Gyeongsang Province, we held a rally for town and community leaders. And in the Honam region, the rally theme was New Life, centering on True Mother and the settlement of the era of the Pacific civilization. In Gyeongjin County, there were villages that had not heard the cries of new babies for many years. It is like that in all farming areas in Korea because young women have moved to the cities. We held the Gyeongjin County Rally of Hope for Childbirth and True Families and conducted the blessing ceremony in 3 villages. The whole of Gyeongjin County was filled with a festive atmosphere. I sent holy robes that I had treasured as a gift to a slightly older couple that had been one of the representative couples during one of the blessing ceremonies. I later received a note of thanks. After wearing the robes, they had given birth to twins. Amazingly, 3 couples that attended those blessing ceremonies gave birth to twins. In addition, as if caught up in the spirit, a local farmer's cow gave birth to twin calves. The governor of the area sent a video of himself bowing to express his thanks. He said that Korea is on a demographic cliff. There have been too few marriages and births, and now the workforce is shrinking. He said that the Family Federation's blessing ceremony is the path of true patriotism, for only it can save the nation. Sometimes I ask myself, what will save the world for the sake of our heavenly parent? Korea is not alone on the demographic cliff. Japan, China, Europe, Russia, the birth rate is in decline in many countries. The only solution is to bring joy through the blessing of marriages in harmony with Heavenly Parent. The blessings will bring peace within ourselves, within our families and communities, nation and world, heaven and earth, Heavenly Parent's holy community. 100 years ago, for the liberation of her homeland, my maternal grandmother waved the Korean flag that she had hidden in her bosom. Now, for the liberation of our global family's homeland, we must raise the Heavenly Parent flag that we have hidden in our bosom. Just like her, we must passionately live for God's kingdom of Cheonilguk. The dawn of a new history is growing brighter. Through the manifestation of the only begotten daughter in the providence of restoration, humanity has new hope. We are completing heaven's providence, reaching our global village with the message of the Mother of Peace. Vision 2020 brought us to the mountaintop. Now, let us greet the rising sun with all our hearts. Let us advance together into the bright, new, hopeful era of the settlement of God's kingdom, Cheonilguk.
Thank you for listening to Godable. Visit motherofpeacebook.com to purchase the complete audiobook.
You God, your parents for these words today. We're doing it. We finished it. This Mother of Peace, this providential work, it's unique. It's what the world needs. In fact, that was a slogan that we had at one point. True Mother is exactly what the world needs. But who's talking about making babies and celebrating having twins and celebrating marriage? No one's doing that. And it's exactly what the world needs, especially these more developed civilizations. You know, we are up against the rise and fall of civilization. We're coming up against the fall. And true parents are here to, like a parent, they see the kids are doing their best, but the parent kind of needs to step in and guide them. Not just stop the fighting, but help them see kind of, hey, you know, be careful when you play close to the edge of the cliff. So we're talking about this demographic cliff that societies are in with the blessing. And for me, that's the theme. Everything we do leads up to the blessing. That's where the joy is. You know, the cure of all the addictions and the problems of our world is the blessing. There's nothing more entertaining than babies. There's nothing that consumes more of your time and it leaves you unable to do pretty much anything else. Is babies. In fact, there was some discussion, kind of playfully, about having a baby fest. Everyone brings their babies and we just take pictures and just, just help out and teach young people how to hold a baby, things like that. Frankly, I mean, if the parents are up for it, that is the cure, I think. It also makes matching candidates look very attractive when they have a picture with the baby in their hands. It's because that's what everybody wants. They want a family. They want a family of their own. And they don't know why. They think, oh, the baby's cute, and oh, you wanna someone you can love. That's not the real reason. The real reason is because we want to bring joy to God. Nothing is more pleasing to God than a blessed couple and a blessed family. That's it. It's not selfish. It's simply our greatest devotion. And it's not easy. There's tons of sacrifice and tons of opportunities to grow your heart. All right. Africa is now a God-centered Africa. Hooray. Christians should not have put their focus only on the second coming of Christ, but also on his bride, the only begotten daughter. Why? Because that completes the picture. That completes the family. I have blocked my eyes and ears to the truth of this group. Okay, so we're talking about our persecution, our persecutors, and those who've ignored us over the years, wrote us off as a cult. They realize, oh wait, actually they have what I want. And often the phrase is, oh, how can I get what the Unification Church members have without joining? It's like, it's kind of it's ironic that people they assume, oh, they must be brainwashed because no one can be that great, no one can clean themselves up that fast, that well. But maybe they, are afraid of change. Yeah, I can understand. Change is scary because it's how can you trust? Can you really trust people? And so the question is, can they trust us? Can they trust you and me to take care of them, to answer their questions, to be available physically, emotionally, spiritually? And so, I mean, people had a right to be concerned. But when you cross over, I feel like a newborn Christian, opposing them without truly knowing who they are. I was moved by the realization that Dr. Hak Jahan Moon is the only begotten daughter. I mean, what a peace to know, like, oh, there is a mother. We're not just a Lord of the Flies earth where we're all just ravaged children, just orphaned out here. But no, there is a true mother. Settle God's kingdom of China Guk in the worldwide Canaan. So we're in settlement era. We're settling down. We're living in our homes. And in peacetime, women make the best leaders. They make the best leaders for sure. Our sorrow over having lost God's world is soon to transform into the joy of gaining it back. This point right here, at least for me, if you really reflect on this deep in prayer and really ask God, give me a spiritual experience on this exact point, you won't be able to stop crying. You just won't. Because if you even taste a fragment of how God has felt over the last 6,000 biblical years, and even the thought, the hope, the glimmer, breaking through the darkness, it's like for God to bring the kingdom of heaven, it's like winning the lottery. The chances are so nil, almost nil, because of how wretched and how overtaken Satan. He has all the control. He has all the cards. And then God has a slight chance every round. Imagine playing the lottery again and again and again and again. Each time more and more painful. But knowing there's always a chance that someday we can win it all. You can feel God's heart. You have nothing to be ashamed of, nothing to hide. We don't. In fact, we should be good tour guides, just show people around. You don't have to make it any bigger than it is. Like, it's like we're not fancy people. You just want peace. You want peace in the world, want peace for our children. And that's it. Nothing spectacular to see. That's why I think we should be more interesting. I like to introduce myself as, Reverend Moon, math weddings. No? Well, then you're missing out. That's not even weird anymore. I'm getting ready to go to Times Square and look like a clown. Sorry, well, not like a clown, but wear my holy robe as Psyche and just bless people on the street, Times Square, next to Mickey Mouse and the shirtless guy in his underpants. I feel like this is how we can even be noticed nowadays. So we should be exactly who we are. Finish our prayer with Aju and be like, what is Aju? What is only begotten daughter? It's like, well, come have coffee with me and I'll explain everything to you. Come pray with us in Chun Shim One. What's the Chun Shim One? Well, just explain that to you. The more we hide and be like, oh, we're weird. It's like, yo, you think we're weird? You think that's weird? I mean, go out there, you meet an LGBTQ plus, whatever, like, you don't think so that's not weird? So give me a break. So yeah, look at this. Female Don Quixote, exactly right. That's what I want to be. Don Quixote, just someone just creating stories, using our imagination, and let's create an exciting life for people. Everyone's so bored out of their skull. That's why they are, they're the worst thing you can do to someone is make them bored. When they're bored, they fall into addictions immediately. Just like how can I get my fix to get out of this prison, this mental prison? Well, that's what Don Quixote would do, is create these crazy stories and fighting evil and and saving the damsel in distress. And so let's save the world and let's make let's make life worth living. It's not about money or that stuff. Yeah, it's nice to take a break here and there, but on your deathbed, really, you're gonna be excited about how comfortable you are. So, thank you, Mother, for leading us in this exciting life. Gangjin County Rally of Hope for Childbirth and True Families. So I love how this is the last few paragraphs of this book, and we're talking about making babies, giving birth. It's again, this is exactly the point of everything we do, is to create a culture of families, make it so that everyone would want to have a family. Korea's on a democratic cliff. Family Federation's blessing ceremony is the path of true patriotism, for it can save the nation. You think of that picture Mother talked about, her grandmother, and her mother holding her on her back. That's the true woman, who's fighting for independence and raising children at the same time. That picture is the epitome of God. This is God's heart at this time, is fight for freedom and raise your children at the same time. I'll tell you what actually what's moved me to tears more than once is, I had a couple of rallies. We did a march at the UN. At the very end, we had a circle with GPA kids and all the participants. We did a unison prayer, and I asked Hannah Bush to give the prayer, and as she was praying, I was imagining Ayumi, that someday she's going to be a leader, as a parent, you have to ask yourself, like, is this what you really want for your kids? That's where the rubber meets the road. That's where you really have to ask yourself, is this the right thing to do? And I feel like because this world is not restored yet, Ayumi will inevitably become a leader to fight for God's freedom. And she'll have to be, leading advocacy and be a fighter. But unfortunately, our world is not yet at a peaceful place. Even though Ayumi is so creative, she can create worlds from her Legos and Minecraft, and I can tell she has this extraordinary imagination. Yet, because our world is not yet peaceful, she's going to have to be a fighter. And so it kind of makes me feel like, what can I do to make this world more peaceful so that she can be more of her true self? So it's yes, we're in a restoration time, but we're also in a culture war, where the Hyojin culture can rise and be more, attract more young people than this decadent culture. Japan, China, Europe, Russia, the birth rate is in decline in many countries. One of my ministries, that's why I just call it a ministry. It's fathers carrying babies around ministry. Like, I love walking around Harlem, just carrying Emika, and just show, like, hey, there's at least one father who can help take care of the kids, loves it, and have fun with them. I mean, the father can do things with the kids that mothers cannot do. The mother's all tired, just feeding and keeping the kids alive. That means it's up to the dad to kind of entertain and keep it exciting. I was the one running the games at the birthday party. Mom is just making sure there's food on the table. There's just so much to do. So much to educate people about what life's really about. Just like her, we must passionately live for God's kingdom of Chanoga. That's it. It's an intergenerational thing. We will not stop. We will not give up until Chanoguk is there for every single person. Like Reverend Green said in his prayer, every last person is a citizen of Chanoguk. Until that happens, we will not rest. We will not stop. But we're going to have fun at the same time. So it's all good. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Milhan. Just the picture in my mind of you walking around with carrying Emika makes me feel so happy. And whenever I see a father walking around carrying their baby, I just smile. Just a beautiful sight to see a father carrying their baby around and those carrier things. Yeah, it's just so precious. All right, brothers and sisters, now it's time for our reflections and appreciations, and we'll be back in 5 minutes. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you had a good sharing. Reverend Corley, would you like to share with everybody?
Yes, yeah, one second. You can hear me okay, right?
Yes. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. I happen
morning.
to be in a room with Kathleen and Joel this morning. And we ended up talking about Catholicism and Protestantism, preparation for the Lord of the Second Advent. And so there was, anyway, an interesting conversation there about dropping the ball in preparation for the Lord of the Second Advent. And anyway, we had a nice back and forth about Catholic priests and nuns, that they, in one sense, were doing the right thing and remaining single until the Lord of the Second Advent arrived. But of course, Joel made the observation that they did drop the ball in the end when Christianity was not able to connect with Father when he first appeared on the scene. So anyway, that's a bit sad that happened, but nevertheless, he was able to find a way through and bring forth the bride, the Lord in true mother. So yeah, we spend most of our time talking about those things this morning. We didn't get to review the content so much, so maybe I'll give Joel or Kathleen a chance if they want to share something about the content. Yeah.
Joel, would you like to share?
Honestly, Reverend Corley, I thank you very much. I think you're an amazing person, and my reason for listening to you is because I only want to learn. And Auntie Kathleen, yeah, but the situation at hand was I was just trying to say this. When we were in the breakout room, it was about them dropping the ball, and the reason why True Father has to be here is because of the situation at hand. And I mean, if they did their job, True Father wouldn't be necessary. So the thing is this: it's about like our situation here at hand, being the people that follow True Father. So we have to be very earnest and honest in what we're doing, because if we don't do that, then why are we here? You know what I mean? I've known Auntie Kathleen for so many years. She's been doing the same thing that she's been doing for so many years, and she's a devout follower and favor in God's eyes. But that's the thing, though. Like, when you become a part of something that's bigger than yourself, you have to remember why you're doing it and what you're doing it for. So, as you know, devoted followers here, I love everyone here, and we are a part of this mechanism that it's bigger than ourselves. So we just have to remember why we're here and why we're doing it. And because Satan on the other side is doing big things, and he's doing amazing things on his part. So why can't we, as God's followers, do the same? Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
I agree. Thank you, Joel. Thank you very much. Okay, brothers and sisters, we're going to get ready to have our unison prayer. I'd just like to remind everybody that today is the 20th day of our 21-day prayer condition for the Chenchenwan Prayer Hall in Harlem and in Albany before the end of the year. These last 2 days, it's a good opportunity. So I just want to encourage everyone again. I know this is an announcement, but I just want to encourage everyone again to please try to come tonight and tomorrow night to the on Zoom. We'll talk more about that later, but the focus of this prayer during this time is the Chenchenwan Prayer Hall Providence. So let's begin our 7 minutes unison prayer. Shi Sha. Most beloved Heavenly
Heavenly Parent, good morning.
Most beloved Heavenly Parent, true parent,
Heavenly Parent
thank you
and true
very much
parent, we pray
For this
for
morning
waking us
and
up.
for
that
the
this
I
time,
day
thank
of
you
Heavenly
all,
Parent and
receive the breath of life.
spirit world,
Wake up,
especially the
I'm
ones
so
that have
grateful that we
Christian life,
be a part of another day.
religious life, and religious life.
this day.
I'm grateful
Oh, Heavenly Parent,
Guidance.
Heavenly Father,
And
Heavenly
blessing.
Mother,
Certain
oh,
this day that we take vigil.
Mother,
This
Heavenly
day,
Mother, you are there all
we
along.
granted
I'm very,
favor.
You Heavenly,
very happy, appreciative,
out in the
especially with
front,
one
Now we have displayed
Harlem.
fighting the battles,
Praise,
To
Max,
move forward
your
this day
internal
guidance,
battles,
love,
Father,
your
life,
external battles, with so much
financial
suffering
stability,
involved.
standpoint,
healing
Pray
of
for suffering involved.
sustenance,
physical
peace, blessing, grace,
here,
Each one of my brothers and
forgiveness,
sisters here, wherever they
love,
are,
progress,
you and
this space is
everybody,
holy
thank you for
the path that we are
another
on.
spiritual breath in my life,
Said that
Father.
to stand in
lost
ourselves
the
strength
kingdom of
and
heaven,
And
strength,
there's
lost.
such warriors,
believing the reality
our
It
leader,
is ultimate goal. Nothing can stop us, Heavenly Mother, to his true Father, true Mother.
really give him
Indeed,
the praise.
nothing can stop us.
Oh,
There's
to
cosmic nation of the kingdom of
be
heaven
able to
on earth. Well, there's nothing that will stop us.
expendable gift right now. That's
It's really
But
great
Jesus Christ
and a blessing, Father.
and
It's also changing the blood lineage,
hey,
creating
Heavenly
babies,
Father.
Father, children,
Take that away, Heavenly Father.
Father, that stand on a
Take that
different
away.
foundation.
Touch his
To see things, Father,
heart for
standing on
network.
the shoulders of
And I really want this. Really want this.
we want to
He
thank
can
you
bless,
for my ancestors, all
guide,
those
and
who
protect us.
gave and gave and
spirits
gave and gave and
Because
also who have forgotten
favor
the cog in our,
circle
our wheels
wisdom
that we
all
need,
this
Heavenly
time.
Father. I really do
sorry,
love him.
not really
No, he's
understood.
so
That's in the depth of the
so
heart, Father, of
that
his heart.
who I know him to be,
Difficult to
know he loves you, Heavenly
so
Father.
be a life of
He really
scripture,
does.
of
He really does, Heavenly Father.
and
I just
out of
talk
this
about that, Heavenly Father.
knowledge,
He does love you. Love
you
you.
can not to show off.
Not one
I'm my own self.
for your righteous.
Do it you have and this
So sorry,
Father,
Heavenly
you
Father.
built others this explosion of true love. Father has carried you all the way into this world
Love you
of
so
your
much,
sons
Heavenly
and
Father.
daughters on this. And now you have upside from his
But I also pray for
this
every
too.
person here.
This invisible idea, deeply heartfelt desire come to fruition, to be established right? A true father and true mother, manifestation. More importantly, brothers and sisters, and all those the same age, and children, on the Akka, to go out there to square hopes and out the blessing. And that is crazy thing at all. Experiencing that Eris and I can give the blessing in our holy robes. We come out of the box, Father. Prepare those the blessings
God
of
Watson, Tanella,
brothers and sisters come to understand the
Bukala,
reality, Father, of the not only blood lineage change, but the blessing of marriage
or family.
that allows people
roll of every
Tyrone
foundation and
have a
fulfill
relationship between on you.
Love can
the
abide.
Holy Dutton family.
Seeking confirmation that is the value of the
Lord, we
people.
pray that they can fulfill
Realize
their
that
destiny
suffering
Danny,
and
Dan,
vision.
Yedem
Say for
also
America that America can say
recognize
that
the
the
value
world
of
is
blessing,
heart.
especially when they're far
that
apart
live
from
on the
each other.
continent.
Let that not
Say
be
Africa, North America, South America, Australia, and New Zealand. We
Danny,
pray
Father.
for our allies
All in the
here. We
room and the
The dwelling place
that
of the Father
just
and Mother
protect
of
them,
God.
we
Father,
pray
from
for the
that.
senseless war
Just allow them,
destruction and
Father, to
praying that the
carry
war
out the
can come
mission
to
that
an
you
end.
have promised.
That the war between Hamas and
Always
Israel, that the war can come to an end. We pray
brothers and
for the
sisters,
Chantrim one that
realization of
endured.
unity. Father,
The Chantrim one that
spiritually, Father,
to the earth.
It doesn't matter if
Heavenly Parent and True Parent,
Here,
for
Christ's sake.
grandpa as
Father,
well.
that America can see that the world is
myth and future, the much myth and life.
American to
special
see
way.
the
Do not
Washington
have to
See you bless
fight as
your
much.
daughter,
the
protect
UPF and the
Always
Dr.
build
Franklin
just the knowledge of
all the way
Father,
to
yeah,
having
and
that
women
place, Father, for each of the
the Mrs. Rico
sisters
Jenkins
and their children and grandchildren.
life
Strengthen
for
that relationship. Their own faith, Father.
We pray for
Be able to go out, Father, without the pain of sin and
brothers and sisters, joy,
falling them for everything else,
the
Father.
Heavenly Parent and True Parent for our
Really
brothers and sisters
succeed in
set about
establishing the Church of One.
we pray for
one,
Carmen.
hallelujah.
Kim, Brooklyn tomorrow,
Yeah, this time we
the
give our
Harlem
brothers and
Central.
sisters out to visit
Miracle, Father, the real miracle. It's just a
for
miracle.
cities.
It will be a
Pray Heavenly
miracle.
Parent and True
Establish the Church of
The
One and
dwelling
always.
place of the
Father,
pray for
pray for that miracle, Father.
for up and coming. We pray for brothers and
Father, that
sisters
we can move
the
things
entire
and
world.
repair things and make the necessary
Them is indeed a hub.
we
the
pray that
spiritual
we can
dimension.
fulfill.
Jew. Thank you everyone for your prayers. Reverend Josh, would you please put in the chat the Zoom number for tomorrow night? For all those who are not on the Manhattan Family Church mailing list, we're going to be meeting tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, but not here on this Zoom number, a different one. So please check the chat.
Wait, it's not gonna be this one?
No,
Oh, what is this for?
Why is it not this one?
that's a good question because the email that was sent out
Right.
yesterday has a different Zoom number.
Should be this one. Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that was a typo?
I had to look back into it, but it should be this Zoom call.
All right, good. That makes it easy. Sorry. Yeah, it was just a typo, I guess, in the email. So it's here. That makes it simple for everybody. It's at 8 o'clock. And I forgot to mention to pray for whoever Reverend Pastor Milhan's inviting.
So
Thank you.
if I can mention now, I did invite Dr. Kim, Reverend Dunkley, and Dr. Rouse. Dr. Rouse is confirmed. We will attend.
Good.
Dr. Kim, he just responded beautiful to my invitation and did not confirm. So I'm gonna have to call him and just make sure what that meant. If he's coming or not. Tal did say Reverend Dunkley, it's very unlikely he'll be able to come. And I have not heard a response from him yet. So, well, a no response is more hopeful than anything because he could have said no, but he hasn't said anything yet. So we'll see. It'd be lovely to have them here, especially Dr. Kim and Dr. Rouse because of their work in Harlem and interest here. So.
Please come tonight at 9 o'clock. Today's the 20th day. The prayers in the Chenchin One Hall are powerful. I can't believe it myself. It's already 20 days. It's like it's gone by in a dream. I can hardly believe it, and I'm gonna miss it so much. I was almost
Well, it's gonna get more powerful from now on.
Good.
This is the appetizer.
I was, I'm going to ask you if we can have some kind of regular prayer like we're doing. Maybe not at 9 o'clock, but so that everybody has the chance on Zoom to pray in the Chuncheon, because even from my own experience, my own prayers, they're different. They're different than they are my normal prayers. I'm surprised at myself sometimes. So it's powerful, it's precious, it's wonderful. I can't even say enough to, please come 9 o'clock tonight, and tomorrow will be at 8 o'clock. Tomorrow's at 8 o'clock.
So wait, 1 second. Is that 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock?
8 o'clock.
Tonight is 9 o'clock.
Oh, 9 o'clock tonight.
Okay.
Tomorrow, the last day, and because we're having these 2 special leaders coming, it's at 8 o'clock.
Okie dokie, thank you.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll be there at 8 o'clock.
Tomorrow, and we'll remind everybody again tomorrow. But I thank you that it's Zoom, same Zoom. That makes it a lot easier for everybody.
No, I'm just gonna show up. I'm not doing the Zoom.
Yeah, and tomorrow, we want to ask it possible if people to be there in person. As many people who can come in person, that would be even better, even more powerful. I'm sure. I'm grateful that I can pray on Zoom, and I'm having some nice, good experiences. But to be there in person has got to be even better. So
I can't vouch for my dad's situation based on his health, but me, I could be there, no problem.
good. That would be great.
It's the confirmation. Minister Joel is coming.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Do you know today is 11/2, which 11 breaks down to the number 2, and so it's like 2, 2, and then 20th day of the prayer. For those who are into numerology.
Yeah. All right, God bless everybody. Love you.
Have a great day, everybody. God bless you.
God bless. Guys, have a great day.
Have a blessed
Bye.
day. Thank you.